Mr. Glickman, 70. I had to go back in my memory to put together 70 years worth. This could take a little while. But Liz might not even know that we grew up as neighbors. We shared a backyard, 25th and Tremont, Livingston Street for us. But back to back, there was a big weeping willow tree between our homes. I don't remember a whole lot more than that. I just remember what it looked like. But yeah, Duffy lived across the street from us. And I came on the scene in 1961, so you were probably like 6 years old by then. And yeah, I remember, I vaguely remember, I remember your parents more from latter years, Lolly and Lenny, always with the cigar, walking in the park. Those are my latter year memories, non-JCC memories. And your sisters, Sharon and Gail, yep, those were the seminal years. And then I black out and I fast forward to the basketball years at the center. And that was mostly me watching you probably as a senior. Varsity senior. You were on some good teams those years, Artie and Miatico, and you had some formidable games. There was the infamous Bayonne, New Jersey visit to the center, which ended in a fisticuffs. And then I go into the camp years. This would be post Mark Schultz, when you took the reins from Mark as the head. And there was some great years there too. I remember Dave Corfin was one of my counselors, and Dave Miatico again. There were a lot of. There was Kyle Roth and Joey Perillo and Freight Train, Jay Rothfeld. There was Syl and Chuck on the ground crew, and just to name a few, from the camp years and the bus trips to Fenway and Springfield Hall of Fame. From those years, gotta skip way forward. One of your Temple apartments. Visiting you, and all I remember is Kurt and the big Fender amp that he had there, and him jamming on the Pusher Man, you singing. Yep, that was a classic. And that, I think we were going to a Grateful Dead concert, because all I can remember after your apartment was being in some kind of Kenny Perlis hippie van on the way to the Spectrum. And I just vaguely, there may have been some substances involved in that. And I was pretty damn young. So, yeah, it was the Philly days. We got the Phillies. We got the Phillies. And then, actually, I'm going to hold off on the Glickman group, because that would have been fast forwarding even further. But I remember there was a winter where you were coaching. I think you were coaching JVs and I was on varsity. And all I remember was one of those really snowy winters. And I drove over to your place before loading on the bus to Wilkes-Barre, Scranton. And I remember distinctly listening to some Jackson Browne, Running on Empty. It was You Take Sally and I'll Take Sue. There ain't no difference between the two. Yep, and that was, and then we went up there on that snowy trip, and I think we lost both games. I think we might have gotten some kind of tussle with, it was either Scranton or Wilkes-Barre, I can't remember. But those were fun years. That was a fun season. And then there's the fleeting memories of basketball at Cedar Crest with Jace and Johnny, and had to be other. I don't know if Manico got much involved in those games. Probably once or twice. But they used to get pretty physical. I enjoyed playing side by side with you because I felt safer in those games those days. And what else? From Cedar. Yeah, that's it. I mean, and then it was the Winter Green year. I remember going down. It was earlier in your Winter Green career, probably the first year or two. And it was winter, and I remember being on the slopes there. And that was a really nice, that was a beautiful location. But there you have it. Winter Green, the Glickman group. Actually, this comes after Winter Green. But a lot of years, a lot of sober memories, a few unsober. But 70 years, Glick. Jesus Christ. How the hell did we get this old? Wishing you a happy one and many, many, many more happy ones. All right. I won't sing you a happy birthday song. Almost 7 minutes of me rambling is more than enough. Take care, buddy.